So, hi everybody, welcome to our very first podcast, Hard as COYL. I'd like to introduce our host. It's going to be a regular thing. We've got Mark Stretton. Hi. And we've got Matilda Scott.
Scott. Yes,
from
hi.
Ferry Fryston. So, so it's going to be a regular thing, and I'd also like to introduce our special guest today, Featherstone Rovers Rugby League legend, Zak Hardaker. Any middle name, Zak?
Alexander,
after the great.
Exactly, I was about to say that. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you for coming today, Zak.
Pleasure,
We really
mate.
appreciate it, mate. Obviously, we know each other, so I don't want this to be awkward. I want it just to be just like normal. Yeah, I won't tell any stories that I know. Do you know what I mean?
So what was we about? Don't mention the war.
Yeah, but I just want to keep it nice and relaxed. I want everyone to enjoy it. Do you know what I mean? But what we'd like to talk about today, mate, if that's all right with you, is how it all started. You know, I want to get into nitty gritty of when you first ever played rugby league.
Yeah.
So, how did it go, pal?
So, my mum met my stepdad when I was roughly about 5 years of age, and I was a bit of a, as probably people could have guessed, a bit of a wild child. Couldn't stay indoors for too long. Cousin carnage at play centres, all that kind of jazz, and my mum just started taking me anywhere and everywhere just to try and burn my energy. And my stepdad, who is from Nottingham, and he knew someone who coached Nottingham Rockware, under sixes, under sevens, it would have been
Sleepy Valley.
Sleepy Valley, yeah. And he suggested, like, look, I'll go take him through the week on night time, you know, burn some more energy so he can sleep better. And that was, I think, the original plan, just to try and sedate me, but in a legal way.
I didn't want to get straight in on this, but obviously times have changed now. Obviously, I know that you've got ADHD, and I know this personally, you know, like, because obviously we're mates, but back then it won't be diagnosed, I won't imagine, will it? Like, it won't, like...
It was a difficult thing, and my mum said this to me, like, going on a few years after that, is, because she was a single parent before she met my stepdad, she didn't want to be looked upon as a single parent with a kid that's got a mental health issue.
Yeah.
Like you say, back in the day, it was
stigmatised.
It was very stigmatised, and my mum was like, so she was adopting things like, so I weren't allowed Smarties or Skittles. I just drank apple juice. I didn't drink fizzy pop for... I probably drunk one or two, but like Coca-Cola, stuff like that, or a Sprite or 7-Up, whatever. I didn't drink one until about 13. So my mum, like, we tried her best to...
Well, to be honest, like, when I was young, it was like... just like a saying, don't give him fizzy pop and crackers, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that kind of thing.
And so my mum tried little bits anyway to just calm me down a little bit more, but I've always had that instinct to just, I want to do this, I want to do that. So yeah, just going back to my stepdad, he introduced me to rugby, took me down to a training session once, and never had a clue what was going on, and it was just kids running about with cones out, in pitch black, freezing, and that time in my life I loved it. And I came back and I said to my mum, I love it, I want to go again. So then just became a regular thing after that.
Well, obviously you didn't go to Nottingham High School, did you?
No, so it was my stepdad's, he knew someone from Nottingham, so it was just a kind of, hey mate, can I bring me the person I'm seeing son to your training session? It was just like, I've never been there before. I think it might have been halfway through the season. It was just something for me to do, and I think he must have he was called Neil Tucker.
Tucker.
He said, oh look.
I don't know him, by the way.
No.
Tucker.
He's well known in the rugby league community. He's a really good coach for many years after that. But I loved it. Coach said I was alright to come back the week after. I must have slept really well that week. Yeah. So we all said, right, take him every week, and it just materialised after that, really.
Nice, mate. Like, because it's weird, isn't it? Because you play rugby when we all play sports when we were kids, but you play rugby generally like with your mates from school and stuff like that. So it's always awkward, isn't it? You know, like, did you know anybody at the team?
No, I didn't know, and I think you're at that age where if you I've got 2 kids now, and you take them somewhere and you go on. You can make mates with a toy car. So looking back now, I'd have probably just relished the fact that there are loads of kids doing barmy things, and are like, what's this shaped ball, and run with it.
I've always said it, mate. Like, I think it's right. Like, when you're a young, them moments, when you're a kid, the little memories, like to me, you make certain things stick in your mind. So there could be something that happened last week, but then there'll be something that happened. Just could be it doesn't even
Like
have
an
to be-
actual core memory, something you will remember forever. That's like that is something that I'll remember, and that is one of those things that has made me.
It don't have to be like a big thing. Like
No.
It don't. I can remember playing heads and volleys in Fairby's Park when I was a kid, and
You're the goalpost, or
Yeah.
do you actually take part?
striker, obviously. You know what I mean? But with this thing, and my mate, Bonesy, I just jumped and made this. It's not even interesting. It's not even an interesting story, right? But it made us both laugh, right? Where, like, I'm thinking about it now, and I understand because we were laughing for 10 minutes rolling about on the floor, and all I did was make a stupid noise and jump while we were playing heads and volleys. But that moment when I was like, I don't know, 12 or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like stuck with me. I always refer to it, and it makes me smile. You know, so it doesn't have to be a massive like event, you know, in your life.
Yeah, well, so that when I was 6, I forgot. Must be only a couple of years later, maybe 1 year later. It was when I was very young. I played one of my first games. It was at Featherstone, and there were 2 pitchers side by side, and I've come on, and they've said, try to tell me rules, and I think I'm about 7, and I've got ball, I've run off this. That's why I'm suggesting this, because this is the memory that sticks out to me. That was my earliest rugby memory that I can physically remember now. And I've run off the pitch that we were playing on, and I scored a try on the pitch next to that pitch. No one was on it. I scored. I've done all. I've run around. We've all gone. That's like you've scored up on pitch. So and then the same game, I hurt my knee, and the old magic sponge came out. Literally,
Yeah.
oh, you're alright, and I was crying, and I can remember the sponge on my knee, and I jumped up after, because it's like, you've got magic sponge. So I can remember that from that day on. I scored 2 tries. I've scored off the wrong pitch. I've done everything you can think about rugby league in one game at such a young age. And that's all I can remember from that game, and it's just one of the best memories I've ever got.
I don't know, but I would imagine nowadays, because the weight world has gone for right reasons and wrong reasons, there's probably no such thing as a magic sponge anymore.
Well, I've not heard it for a long time, but the magic sponge were an absolute key piece of equipment back in the day. That got you through world wars. In the rugby league terms. That got you through it.
But that's what they could do it now, do you know what I mean? Like some players now, do you know what I mean? Like a magic sponge. Or in football, they could definitely do with a few magic sponges, do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
But yeah, it's like them core memories from when you were a kid. I think when you're a kid as well, like it lets you build on who you are, doesn't it? You know, like who you knock about. I've always said like who you knock about with at school and who you come through with and stuff like that. That stirs you in your life path. You know what I mean? Like where you're going and stuff like that. Like, you know, sometimes, and I seem to be said at school, like I've never been like I've always been a right down middle kind of person. Do you know what I mean? Like never had a group or like that, but I have seen people that go into groups, you know, like certain groups, and then they end up maybe going down wrong path. Now imagine if you're undiagnosed with ADHD, do you know what I mean? Like you can quickly start knocking about with people because in your mind you think that's the right thing to do and things like that.
Well, I think I was very fortunate as a kid. So I played for not the Rockware. Over I think I was 7, but I played for under-8, so you like that kind of thing.
Oh, big lad were you? Like?
No, tiny. I was called Little Zak till about 15, 16, and then I started having a growth spurt. But then I played.
Was that when Leeds got you on growth then?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Just loads of food. So I had that core of friends from Nottingham, but I was from Pontefract, so I had a Pontefract group of friends. Then I played football for St Joseph's, so I had that group of friends. Then I had school. Then a few years later, I moved to Featherstone Lions at I think 13. So at one stage in my life, when I was about 13, 14, I had 6 different groups.
Yeah.
And like I say, when I was at that age as well, if you went up to town, or this is where I'm saying about 13, but you got a bus somewhere, and a crowd of people used to see you from a different town, they'd be, might be fighting or they'd chase you off. But because I had groups of friends from Featherstone, Pontefract, Nottingham, I used to get off and be like, hey lads, you alright? But then some people I used to be with just run for the hills. I used to be very lucky because I went in sports in different like venues and stuff. I was alright.
It's mad all that, rivalry between towns. I'm sure you're from Normie.
Yeah.
and you're from personal juggling, so like I would imagine but I would imagine when you're a kid, that rivalry, between like I can remember myself like everyone saying because in Ferry Bridge,
Ferry Bridge, I used to have to sprint. So then we moved to Hilltop Mountain at one point. So I had to sprint from Pontefract through Ferry Bridge.
I was cocker Ferry Bridge for years.
Well, obviously you weren't catching me, so I'll break and safe on that aspect. But I used to sprint through there to get home.
But I remember, like when you're only like I don't know. It's when you first come into your like pubescent age, so like like 12, 13, that kind of thing.
I thought you said you were 16 when you got.
I was 20 knocking about with 13-year-olds back then. But
I did that one.
No, but you always had that older lad, didn't you, knocking about the young ones? I was harder than them little shits as well, do you know what I mean?
You used to go to off licence for
right. Oh yeah, I did, yeah. No, we did. There was this one kid that did used to go to off licence for us. And I always remember he was, I can't remember, I think we called him Rummo or something like that, I can't remember, but he was from Ferry Bridge and he was, he was probably undiagnosed with something, to be honest, you know what I mean, but back in the day he was just big Rummo, like when we were like, I don't know, 12, 13, he might be 25 or something like that, but he used to, if anybody wanted some beers from shops and everything, they were always good for it, but he used to, I always remember this one time, we got all this money together, like a £5 a piece, and a shop at bottom of the hill at Ferry Bridge, it had bottles of, you can remember Castaway?
Yeah,
bottles. You used to settle, didn't you? You had to check the bottle, didn't you, before you drank it?
Yeah, I still had nightmares about that because he used to mix it with Diamond White and call Blast Away. They actually used to serve that in pubs.
What, they said Blast Away?
Blast Away, that was nickname for it. Diamond White and Castaway in a pint, and they actually used to serve you it.
How much was that? That sounds pretty good.
It was probably what 90s like.
It might have been about Pippin still.
I remember working up on precinct in Wakey somewhere, and I was just very confused.
Yeah, well, you used to, and they were selling them bottles. I think they were 20 pence each or something like that, because they're out of date. But obviously we couldn't get served, and so we all chipped together, and we got like 3 crates. Because fair were at Ferry Bridge, so it was like a big deal, like trying to impress girls and stuff like that. And we got Rummo got us these Castaways. We gave him money, like we all got a £5 or whatever off his parents. And he went into off licence, and one of them smoked, so he got him like 10 cigs as well, So he came out with, he came out with free thing and 10 Regal King size or whatever, and he just went, "Cheers, lads," and just walked off and took him.
So they didn't give you it.
There was nothing we could do though. You were 25 and 6 foot odd. Do you know what I mean? And that's another one of the core memories that sticks to you, right? If you ever see him, I do nothing. I'll do nothing. One of them,
Jeffrey Special.
Jeffrey Special. I won't do nothing all. But no, these core memories, and when you're growing up and coming through, like as a young'un. But you must admit that the sport friends are different, aren't they? You remember sport friends for the rest of your life. You know what I mean?
And like touching back from when I was at Martin Lake to 13, signed up for the Lions, I was a new kid going to that firm, if you like, and then, like I say, it was a firm, and I met some of them lads now, and I've not seen them for years, but if I'd seen them, hey up mate, you alright?
Yeah.
If I know they've got kids, how's your kids, how's your wife, how's your family doing? Even if you don't know, you go, how's your family doing? And that goes for now, even like professional. If I've been at Leeds with someone and they're 40, 50-year-old, you see them, like me and Kelly, when we see each other, he's at Warrington doing a commercial job. We've got a little handshake, it's only 3 taps, but he'd had a handshake with everyone in that team for 5-6 years. And the first time I seen him after he'd retired, hey mate, you alright? And I did that, and he went, no. I'm like, oh yeah, sorry, I forgot. And it's just like that little handshake. It's like he remembered, I forgot at the start, but then every time I see him now, it's 1, 2, 3, and it's just the little subtleties that you don't realise you've got until you don't see someone, and then it just comes back.
And I love that, and I think that's what sport, regardless whether it's rugby league or whatever sport you do, or any team, if you're in a team. And a team gel, it's little things like that make a team gel, and it might, from outside looking, it might seem silly, but it's not silly to you, you know what I mean? Like it is, you played in teams, didn't you? You were a sporting person.
I am, I'm still, what do you mean?
Are you?
I am, I used to play football.
What, soccer ball?
Yeah, soccer, yeah. Until I hurt my knee, classic, I used to be a striker, but then
Fit goal scorer?
Yeah, I was pretty good. I was good.
He's
Yeah.
oh no,
No,
you're
he's
Danish, right? Oh,
Yeah.
Peter Schmeichel.
Yeah, Peter Schmeichel. Could be my dad.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
But
Go on, sorry.
when did it start to get serious then? Because there is when you're a teenager, now we're just talking about when you're a teenager, things starts to change and now you want to hang out instead of going to sport, or you would rather meet up at 5 than going to pack your bag and go to rugby. So when did it start for you when did everyone around you or yourself start believing in you?
Yeah, it was 13, I can remember, because not the Rockaway started being a bit shit, to be fair. So the year before, I think
Call out your teammates.
No, I can't. So under 11s, we were going into under 12s. We had a really good team. There were under 12s, under 11s, so under 10s, and about half his team went somewhere else. They went to teams their age, so you could stay at Nottingham, but you had to play up a year. So I stayed, and then the following year, some people came back, and it was just not the same. It was really rubbish, and the team at the time were Featherstone Lions, and I spoke about it to my stepdad and my mum. I was like, look, I want to test myself. I was too good for that group. I was, and for me to get better, my mum's stepdad said, look, I think he said to my mum, it could be a professional rugby player, which I didn't realise what that was really at the time.
Manifesting.
When you say you're too good, so were you scoring out tries?
So I was scoring tries, but I can remember to this day, like, I was going to say the right wing, but I played number 13, but I'd literally tackle someone up left wing, they'd pass it to the right wing, and I'd literally run behind my line and tackle them, and I'd just do that all the time, because some people couldn't tackle. So that's when it got to a point where I'm doing my job, but 6 other people's. And then the shock that I got when I went to Featherstone, because they were like a well-oiled machine, they'd just gone to Australia the year before on tour, is I tackle someone near the try line, near the right-hand side, and I'd start running toward left, but then they'd just do the job.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? It was a massive jump, and it took me about 2 years to adjust to how good they were. So I was a big fish in a small pond, and then when I went to Featherstone, I was a little fish in a big pond, and I was a big shit, to be fair. So some of the Feather Lions lads now, Joe Fox, who I used to play with, Jacob Scoffins.
Joe Fox, he could bang him.
He was really
good as well.
Honestly, the team that we had were incredible for years. And a lot of them went on to sign for Huddersfield, Castleford. The only me who stayed at Featherstone, but we'll touch on that a bit later. But that's when I knew it's something I wanted to do, but it took me by surprise how good. Same age, different team. I just thought I was like.
Well, a lot of that as well. So obviously you had the skill there, you know, when you're travelling from one side of the pitch to the other. But like I'm a big thing of this as well. I think a lot of it, like 50% of it, and this is just my opinion. Everyone's wrong, but is your heart. You know, like if you've got a big heart, and you want to get there, and you want to do it for a team, you know, like, and I think that's like you personally, you could probably play all over Park. To be fair, do you know what I mean? So like that desire, that comes from that desire as well, and that heart.
Yeah, there's been loads of kids who I've played with, and the skill levels beats me every day of the week. They're probably quicker than me, stronger than me. But then when it gets to a point where, and I'm talking like 13 to 15, 16, where someone runs straight at someone, I was never big, really. But I try and smash them, whether that's right or wrong. But then I've had kids where they were about 6 foot and they were 13, and they're just like, tackle, close their eyes and jump out at way at the same time. Like, they've tried to do the right job, but it's like, what are you doing? So there's a lot of kids who do go missing when they've got all the talent in the world, and it's just, I say, you can say it on here, I just say to come, it is hard, but I just say you've got that grunt about it, or you've not, and if you haven't got it, it's very hard to make it somewhere when if you've not got it, because you can't produce it if you've got it.
It is difficult, isn't it? Like when my son played when he was a junior and stuff like that, like I see that, I always try to see things from everybody's point of view if I can. So it's difficult to have an opinion on it, right? But I think some parents I see, and I think they force the kids to play rugby. This, I'm not saying no names or anything like that, but I see it. I've seen it. And they force the kids to play rugby. And I personally, this is just my personal opinion, but I think that can just go the wrong way completely, you know. Because
it has the opposite effect, right?
It should be just like enjoyment at younger age, and a lot of kids just like do it, and because of things we were just saying, just enjoyment's gone out of it. So
Yeah,
they're
I
just
think some
back in.
parents go-
They've got prospects as
The
well.
parents are, because they've been parents and they've lived that life before, they'll be like, I think my son could be a good player here. When
Yeah.
your son might not be bothered.
Yeah.
And then they go, oh, come on.
Yeah, it's
And
their
then-
dream,
and they
right?
yeah, it's the parents' dream, and they're building the son up to, or daughter to be something that they might not be that bothered about.
Yeah,
You-
yeah.
like, I agree with you. You go to kids' tournaments.
You see
just
the parents screaming on the
"Oh,
side,
they
and
just
you're
go
like,
this, like that.
Yeah.
They're not enjoying it. So it's
Yeah,
one of those.
that can work both ways. You might have a super talented kid as well. You might have a super talented kid that's the fastest, or the classic one is someone that's a lot bigger than everybody else. Do you know what I
The
mean?
thing being from 8 to 15, if you were big, you were best player.
Yeah.
It's nearly impossible to tackle someone way bigger than you.
It's when you get older,
Yeah.
and people catch you up,
Yeah.
and then next thing you know, like, and you can tell, like, there's a lot of these kids that they're laid on floor, I'm not slating these kids. I just think that they've been put into a position that they shouldn't have been put into from the parents wanting them to play, but that child, right? They could be wasting the time because they might thrive in another sport, or they might think. They might wake up and think, right, I need to be tougher. And it could go the other way and they think, right, I'm gonna do it and I'm gonna think. So there's nothing wrong with that. I think sometimes parents prolong the kids, you know, like I'm not saying forcing them to do it, but encouraging the kids to do something that potentially, especially these days with people's mental health and everything, might not work. Do you know what I mean? Like, and rugby is a really, really tough sport. You know, it is. So anyway, so after Fev Lions then. So how did you get picked up by Featherstone Rovers then?
So I got bottom of scholarship at 13.
So you remember this, don't you?
Yeah. I remember when you started. It wasn't an academy then, was it?
Yeah, we were very strange. So it was like a proper academy now they are these days. I can remember kind of signing sign on, but it weren't proper contract.
Did you get like a picture and stuff like that?
Yeah, it were all like that. I think I might even sign a piece of paper, but it weren't legit. It was a good feeling. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there was about any given time, maybe 10 of us, and we trained like every Wednesday night. Back at Featherstone Rovers, where the new training bit is now, where the officers are a bit. We got given one jumper, one t-shirt, and a pair of shorts. But that were, to me, I've always loved kit.
Yeah.
Like when I got a bag of kits, I'm like, God, this with initials on. I loved it. So it my pride and joy, and we did that every Wednesday. And there were like 1 or 2 spotlights. So you could hardly see. And you had to go right close to the lights to see. And I just loved it. Every Wednesday I was like, right, what time is it? What time will I go in? You know, when we were taking my stepdad. And I loved it. And then sometimes you go to the gym and just have a little look, and you walk around. You can see first team training sometimes, and then going on a few years like our ball boy, getting paid for a ball boy was £2 burger and chips. Just stuff like that, and that's why I love Fev. I've been there for a lot of years, and my first experience was at 13 and just every Wednesday.
Do you remember who did any of first team like talk to you back then? You know,
I can't remember that far back if they did, but as I got older, my earliest memory was been Ian Hardman. He spoke to me quite well. Gal Pal, when he was there, he looked after me. And then one of the favourable times I had at Featherstone was the reserves. So I must have been 15, 16, and I was with men who were like had 2 teeth. I had lovely hair, lovely white teeth. So I don't know what's going on.
Had lovely hair.
Yeah, exactly. These burly men were coming from work on a Wednesday, and I just got stuck in, and they loved me because I just got stuck in. Training all like bus noses and everything, and these men with big tattoos. Like it's a bit weird for me to say now because I'm 33, got tattoos, no hair, but
that's really good. I mean, not the big burly tattoos bit, but it's like you're able to play like in a reserve. I mean, there hasn't been anything like the reserves. I mean, it's a good few years. I mean, I think last time Featherstone played in reserves, there were Super League sides that refused to play Championship reserves, and it's just like with money in that. I mean, it's like that wouldn't happen at the moment, which is.
Well, I think just that's what's going wrong across the full game.
Yeah.
No reserves, you miss so much talented players because some players aren't good from 12 to 18. Some might be playing Fort Lane or Featherstone Lions and get picked up at 21. There's people like that. And
I mean, look,
you just miss a massive pool of players.
I mean, look at Featherstone, Gaz Gale and Josh Hardaker.
I played with Hardy. I played with Josh Hardaker, so he was part of the team that I was with, and he was a good player, not extravagant, but just a good hard worker, like he is now. He just works hard and takes that many carries and tackles well.
There's some, you know, every team can't be full of standoffs and halfbacks. You need workhorses. Do you know what I mean? Because then you take a workhorse out of a team. Look, it's a bad example because it's Man United, but when Roy Keane left Man United, they went downhill because he wasn't extravagant, but the stuff that he did, you know, like for Man United, were noticed. Same with Calvin Phillips at Leeds and stuff like that. Like you notice these things. Once that workhorse is gone, with Rhinos, they lost 4 of them at once. Do you know what I mean? And they went for years. They're
still going for it now.
Yeah, they couldn't replace them.
I mean, Featherstone. I mean, not about Josh and that. That's why characters, like even like yourself and Josh, it's like. Not just because they're local, they've just got that art, and they said they are like.
It's just that Fev Rovers think that Fev lad. It's just they've been brought up in it, whether it's parents and just hard-working lads play rugby on a weekend, get stuck in, and it's.
There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong. I don't think we're a bit of old school. Do you know what I mean? I think you can change things too much, but ultimately, when everything's stripped back and it comes to it, if that guy's a tough guy, he's going to be in your team. Do you know what I mean? And that's it. And you might drop someone and think, wait a minute, this guy can do 100 metres in 3 seconds and he can bench 6,000 pounds. But if he's not willing to
it's like
move to get that tackle,
someone train like Tarzan, play like Jade. That's another one. I mean, there's been loads of them in my career. You go. Oh God.
Come on then, name him then. We want to get us to the top.
But he can't catch a ball. He's doing really well at gym, but then he comes to fundamentals of rugby league. Can't catch a ball. It's like.
Yeah, you should do bodybuilding instead. Yeah. No, but it is really important that like hard work will always beat talent, and I think that's what most parents, now that we go back to that conversation, that's what they skip because they see, oh my boy is already, he's so tall, he has the physics, but you forget like he doesn't want to put in the work. Yeah. And same on a team, like okay, you might have had it has been easy for you so far. But when you come in and play Super League or whatever, if you're not putting in the talent or the work, you're not putting in the work, your talent will not get you very far.
This is a genuine thing. Someone brought their 10-year-old son into the pub other day, right, to play pool, and they're saying, they're on about getting him lessons, and he's got a hidden talent, you know, like. I think he's going to be a superstar. I beat him 12-0. You know what I mean? I beat him 12-0.
Bragging over beating a kid.
I don't care. Do you know what I mean? Like,
bragging on it as well.
12-0. I know parents were saying, I think he could go out way. He could be a big deal. Do you know what I mean? I beat him 12-0. Come back in 10 years. Do you know what I mean?
It's funny on that. I always find it funny the pool thing with the kid, because it's like, well, why are you taking your kid that young into pub?
And play pool?
Tell that to Luke Littler's dad, mate. Yeah.
No.
Exactly, but
they're probably not bragging about it and going you think so?
He's now.
But I would do the same if that was my kid.
Luke, it's over there. I'll come get you in an hour.
It'll lead to a disaster. It'll turn out one day he's woke up, all money's gone out of account. Mum and dad's in Barbados, do you know what I mean? Like, looking after money. But anyway, back to Rovers. Right. So can you remember your debut then for Rovers? This will be your first senior game.
Yeah.
I mean, first.
A core memory.
So like the night before the game, or
I want to know everything. I want to know the details.
He was on the toilet all night, so nervous.
What did you do that night before? Like, you didn't get involved, did you?
Yeah. What's that?
Should have.
Yeah. Go on.
Should have known.
So was it Tuesday night?
It was a Thursday night game.
Thursday night.
Unslot.
I've been out. I think we'd done the captain's run last one on the Tuesday. I'd gone out Tuesday night, as you do, and I ended up in a bit of a scuffle. And
tell me about the scuffle. Who got you?
I don't know, but I definitely won. I've just got a black eye to show for it. No, I can't really remember. I had a fight. I ended up with a black eye. So obviously Wednesday then we played Thursday night. So one's gone ballistic because I've been named to play fullback, and the Thursday we've met at Featherstone Rovers. I've got an hat on and I've pulled it right down as much as I can without being able to see. Bomb coach Del Pal sat up front. Zak Hardaker, oh right. What's up here? Nothing. what are you doing? I'm like, what? Like, I was been doing this.
Yeah.
So I looked up, he's gone, what's that? I went, oh, I've banged my eye. He went, where? So I made up some like, or something. He's gone, get to the fucking back at bus. So I sat back at bus and all lads, obviously I'm playing with men. So I know now, so as a young kid trying to hide a black eye, showing a 30-year-old bloke, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So he's go, whoa! He'd be like, it's been fucking raining! Look, it shows your eye! Oh! He can hear. But obviously I'm so naive and so new to this experience, I ain't got a clue. So I just rolled this story anyway. So that was night, ended up playing, and Dalpal pulled me just before I went out. He said, you best fucking pull your finger out. So I'm like, well, I was going to anyway, but I'm even going to play even better now.
Yeah.
Ended up playing really well. I think I scored 3 tries,
He knew he got an hat-trick.
That's what someone's correct me.
He knew he got an hat-trick.
I played pretty well, and looking back at the videos and stuff, but I was really skinny and a bit of a shiner.
But don't worry, I've got the video.
And I absolutely loved it. It were just that one stand, but that to me felt like there were 30,000 there. They had a running track around the pitch. That just makes it more professional than a normal pitch. Big floodlights, coached at game, just the build. Do you know what I mean? Playing with men. It was just.
Were you nervous when you went out?
Oh, I'm nervous this day now. So I can't remember I felt the nerves, but I must have been shit my pants. But as soon as I get the ball in my hand, and I get tackled or I do a tackle, normally, like now, it wipes it away. So I can just imagine myself being that young and plus just like being a little bit told off just before.
But you go back to these moments. This is a moment, you know, like
massive.
And obviously, you went on to learn from that. You never did out wrong again in your career.
One black eye after either.
And never lost a fight either.
No, still defeated.
but no, like so that it's so important, you know, them highlights and them moments, you know, for that.
And after Delpal laughed and just said what happened, kind of thing. And it was just a little scuffle, which it was anyway. All right, no worries. And then he well played, and that was it.
What Pauli a good coach for you then?
Very good, yeah. He taught me a hell of a lot. And then at Castleford in 2017, I know you probably don't want to touch that too much, but just how much he did for me and that team then. But as a young kid coming through, because he was really good with my mum and stepdad as well. Spoke to them quite a lot, and because I was really young. I was 17 when I made my debut as well, like in the league, so like proper debut, and it was really good.
I would imagine back then as well, referees let a bit more ride, you know.
Yeah, a bit more. One of them where you pass the ball, 1, 2, 3, then you got smacked in the head. Not even now with football. It was 5 seconds later, you'd get a stiff arm, and everyone wore a forearm pad. It was kind of a
who was that wrestler that used to wear it? You're not big fan.
So Ian Tonks, while I played at Fev Rovers, he had one. I used to love Tonks because he was just he's your typical Fev Rovers prop forward. Him and Stu Dickens up top. You can't beat that. And he used to just wait until someone's passed the ball and then just give him a good old whack out logo after it.
I loved it.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
Tonks, he's coaching now.
He's coaching now, yeah.
Rodney Barbettins is like built it up from
ground. He's done really well.
Yeah,
he's done really good.
Yeah, his brother's in.
Ian?
He's got a younger brother that's got he's not got the same second name. Is it Bradford? Is it Bradford? He's uncle at Bradford. He's got a gym in Normie.
It's just gone like it's gone from one from other.
Yeah, I ain't got a clue. But when you've done that, so you're playing for Feb, you're playing well.
Yeah.
Did you get a regular spot after that then? Were you in and out?
No, I was in and out. I had Matty Dale on the wing, Tommy Saxton on the other wing. I had someone else. Well, like second or third choice. But Powell just loved me because I was pretty game. Like any balls in there, I just attacked them. Whereas now I know even a 30-odd-year-old, you go.
Yeah.
At that age, I was straight on it like a whippet, and I was keen. So, I ended up playing against playing a few games to be fair. And this is another thing that I want to touch on. Then as well, they put Sky games on the Thursday night.
Yeah.
And it were absolutely game changing because all those games where you're not probably asked about, and no fans really turned up, but it was televised. it just turned the game on its head because everyone wanted to perform on camera. So as a young kid, first time ever, cameras at Featherstone Rovers, and they were built up by bricks and stuck together by sellotape. But it was amazing because you could see the vans outside.
Yeah.
Just that build up.
It was weird because when I first started watching, like, we were in old First Division and we were on Sky quite a few times. Then it was years you thought, oh, they're never going to show Championship games.
Yeah.
You're really going to be. I'd really like to go into 39 games, but I've never been too bothered, especially like if they're at home. But yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
It's a night out, isn't it? You
Yeah.
know, basically, like just everything about game day. You know, not just because I'm chubby, but you know the smell of burger vans and stuff like that. You
That's
know,
because you're chubby.
You're
talking about food already.
That's not what I noticed.
It probably is because I'm chubby. But all of that I like. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I like the anticipation when you go to watch a game and stuff like that. I like
So
to.
it's like the noise. You can hear the noise before you see the ground. You can see the floodlights before you see the ground. See people walking about with shirts. That's like the build up. Then you go through the turnstiles. Then like you do, you smell the burgers and you automatically want one with fried onions.
Yeah,
like,
that's
quick in
all.
me.
Yeah.
Then
No,
you sit down in your seat just because you can, but then you
Yeah.
stand up and walk away because it's another 12 before. It's just the full build up and it just gives you that.
Well, I mean, I don't know if they do it now, but I can remember when I was a kid and everyone used to change ends. You know, like
Yeah, we
at
used to.
halftime.
used to do it, didn't it? Featherstone,
Yeah. Don't do it as much now.
Yeah.
It's a bit harder now because
Yeah.
since you had that stand on.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of
Both
people, the
sides.
people did it, but a lot of times, the last couple of years, well, when Bradford and Halifax don't really bring many, but they've like had that as a way end,
Yeah.
no stand. But yeah, they did used to do that a lot,
Yeah.
especially when it was older railway end. So obviously, it's a longer walk now anyway.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
big fat
Yeah, I
fans.
can remember they used to do that all the time.
Yeah.
So you're playing well. You're doing well. So did you have any thoughts about moving on from Fev at that time, or because you're still young, you're still
Yeah.
extremely young, or did you get tapped up? Like I don't know how it worked.
No, but speaking, since I've like made professional into Super League, we played. I remember playing Lee on a Thursday night.
Yeah.
In front of the Sky cameras, I played.
That
wing.
semi-final.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I played really well. And then talking to someone like 10, 15 years later, they said, Brian McDermott's told me at Leeds, someone actually at Lee, Chris Lindsay told me when he was at Wigan, they'd all watched that game and said they wanted to sign me from that game. But I didn't know obviously this at this time. But I'd actually played well. And then I remember playing Barrow towards the end of the season and I scored 2 tries. And then Ben Kay was the hooker at the time. It was on nudie run. Last game of the season, if you don't score a try, you have to.
Oh.
It was a bit ruthless back in the day. You had
Yeah.
to go up and down the street where you're fully naked,
Yeah.
where you tackle out everything. Now it's changed. Like I say, it's changed now. But I scored an hat trick. I'd done like a full length for side up wing, gone on the post, and he's going Zak. And I'm like, oh, pass to me, and it's scored try. I've never been absolutely booed so much by my own team in my entire life.
Oh,
I
yeah,
only 17. And I'm like, you fucking do it. You want a boy that scored? It would get his dick out. I felt sorry for him. So that was like one of the last games before we got into the final against Halifax.
Oh, I'm still traumatised by that.
Yeah.
Man, you know a bit.
I
about
blame the
that.
fans. The set bug were all on fire and the
Yeah, because we're winning. I think it was 22-4. at the
yeah,
time.
yeah. We're
So this is
smoking,
against Halifax. Well, this is
It's
Warrington.
Warrington.
Yeah.
Yeah.
at Warrington's ground. It went
Yeah,
Well Jones. It would be something different. Then.
No, it was Alabama
ground.
Yeah.
It was it literally. I think they might have been in it a couple of years.
Right.
So,
Oh, that's a big deal, that then.
No,
isn't it?
massive.
Thing. Yeah.
I can remember that time as well. I pulled up on
Yeah.
the coach and it's like, wow, this is a big stadium.
Yeah. 3 years on travel.
It's still impressive when you drive
Oh,
past
it's
it.
good.
Yeah,
It's really impressive.
Yeah, I've just added on to it ever since.
So what happened in that game then?
Well,
That is a trauma.
You were on pitch, well,
Oh, bad trauma.
Yeah.
I'm traumatising still, yeah.
yeah, match got stopped because the fire alarm went off at Halifax and somebody was smoking or something in the toilet.
Yeah.
So that's what they said. So they evacuated all Halifax fans across pitch. So it took about 20-25 minutes. And then it seemed when we got back on, it just changed completely, didn't
Yeah.
it? Then it went to Golden Point. And when Ben Blacks, it was straight in front
Yeah,
of me.
well, yeah.
As soon as he did it, I saw Halifax fans going, oh. But no, watching Fev, it's all character building. 15 years ago, like, but I still haven't forgotten about it.
I'm saying it bugs me to this day, but
Yeah, that's good though. That's again, that's heart in it. Something like that. It
Yeah.
still bugs you when you talk about it
Yeah.
and get angry. Do you know what I mean? So you got How did
So
you
I
approach it?
kind of got fast tracked, to the first team really, and I just started. I was scoring tries. 20 odd tries I scored. Got to the final, ended up losing, but I scored 2 tries in that game. I think it was.
Oh, is that where you did the track back tackle? Where you?
Everyone going say he just scored it,
Ah.
but he was fastest man at the league apparently.
If you'd have made that tackle.
I know. I weren't far off. But yeah, we lost in the good old fashioned as it is. And
What's bus like on the way home from that game then?
Still sat in the back.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sat in the back, get to back.
Yeah.
No, it was because we should have won, and it's like you say we're 20 odd points up, and then
Well, league by actual league lead this year by a mile. That's
Yeah.
it.
Oh, so we're Fev like heavy favourites
Oh,
going
so
into
we were smashing everyone. And Halifax were not even. Were they even the second best team?
I think there was second, to be fair.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, then 2-3 seasons. I think you were on low following, but the following season we lost the league first game and didn't lose another league game all season.
Yeah.
We lost grand final or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh no, we won that one.
Ah,
I tell a lie. Sheffield we won. It were following year we lost.
Yeah, so we've been through a few turmoils.
Yeah.
And the bus back was just devastation really because we had it
Yeah, of course, yeah.
grasped with his hands and let it go.
So you then go to Rhinos, right? So
Yeah.
you get signed for Rhinos.
Yeah.
And how old are you?
I would have been I'd been turning 18, but I was
18, okay.
17 in the Featherstone
Yeah.
season. So yeah, I was going to sign at Hull. Then Warrington came in, basically signed at Warrington without signing. I verbally agreed. And then Featherstone kept pushing this price up. The old
How did they sell? Did you get money for that?
Yeah.
Matt Campbell special.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. It was like 50 grand. Then
God.
Hull came in,
That's a lot of money now.
and then I think I went for 100. Which is astronomical. It's massive. But then every time a new team came in, he just banged 20 grand on.
Yeah.
So it got to a point. I said yes to Warrington. I agreed. I think 3 or 4 years on my wage, and they rung me about 2 days later. Warrington said, "Look, they've put 10-20 grand on your fee. If we take over your 3 years, 20 grand off you, will you sign?" And I was like, "Yeah, like it's most money I've ever seen in my life for this contract." At a club like Warrington, yeah, no problem, fine. Then a day later, Gary Everton rung my agent and said, "Look, we'd like to show Zak round Edmund Stadium, and would be welcome to come." I love Leeds Rhinos, I love Leeds United, even though I weren't a massive fan, didn't that many games.
Yeah.
I knew Rob Burrow from my town, Kevin Fields, Jane Peacock, so I knew him before, and agreed to go. Walk through doors, James Owen Buchanan, Rob Burrow. I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Rob Burrow, I used to see driving around in a car.
Oh, he had an Audi, didn't he? He had an Audi
TT. I used to go, it's Rob.
Yeah.
I used to do that as a kid, so seeing them two, and obviously it was pre-planned, obviously I know that. And I was like, "You alright? What's your name, Kevin?" So my stepdad were in awe as well, because he was a Leeds fan. And as soon as I met them two, it was done. I was like, I'll come here even further. I'll come here for nothing but...
Even before the stadium upgrades, the Rhinos ground were a good ground as well.
Yeah, it's amazing, yeah. Just the atmosphere and the fans make it just...
Because of where it is as well, it's right in heart of Eddingly, do you know what I mean? So like, the fan capture base from around there is massive.
Yeah,
do you
it's
know what I
massive,
mean?
yeah.
So you signed there. So you've got some money in your pocket. Did you get a sign off fee for that?
No, I didn't.
Did
No.
you?
No.
You might keep it.
No, probably. Yeah, but being that age and signing for a club like these, I am not bothered. Like, just give me some training kit.
Yeah.
Give me loads of training kit with a big bag and a rucksack, and I'm happy.
Two of everything in your soul.
two
no,
everything.
it's.
Somebody got
That's
one t-shirt, one
crazy.
pair of shorts.
But that's how it is when you're a kid, isn't it? Like you get
It's like seeing Christmas. I loved it, and the original deal was signed at Leeds for 4 years, season long loan back to Featherstone. So it'd been my first full year at Featherstone playing against men.
Mhm.
Just probably done half the season the year before. Done a bit of training for Featherstone part time and then full time at Leeds. So like Monday full time, Tuesday night, that kind of work. And then about 2 weeks before Featherstone's season, because they did that Northern Rail Cup.
Yeah,
Before
you
the
didn't
actual
know
season.
You'd never heard
Before the season started.
Matt told me about. He said Northern Rail. You mentioned Northern
Well,
Rail.
you played that before even season started. So
What, the full cup got played?
No,
just like, but yeah, a few games.
Real
Well, that was before season started. So And a week before I went to playing that, they changed it to we can call you back kind of thing, because it meant to just off you go, we'll see you. See you next year. And then a couple of injuries got done in for Leeds. I got called back after about 4 games maybe.
It's very early.
Yeah, and then
Where everyone in that Fev squad pleased for you then? You know, like
over the moon. Yeah, the buzzing. I spoke to Paul and stuff. They said they could see me leaving. It was just a matter of when. Yeah. They were just really happy for me to come back for a full year, because to develop really, and I wanted to do that under Powley.
I mean, what a fantastic deal for Fev as well. They get money and they get.
Well, it made me feel a lot better about what had gone on, because I didn't want to leave really.
Yeah.
But when Leeds come in, it's like, yeah, I want to go, but I don't want to leave. But then it's like, right, we've got. And I'm still good friends with Matt now, and he sat me down with my mum and my stepdad, and like, look, this is a good deal for the club, which we need. We've got him back for another year, and it's like, well. Perfect, really. Do you know what I mean? So it was a good deal for everyone. Now we're more than happy to do that. So
So you come back on, then they call you back. So your Rhinos debut, can you remember that?
Yeah, St Helens at home.
Oh, what a game!
Yeah, I scored 2 tries in that. So I've always done well on debuts.
God, you used to be really good, yeah.
I did, yeah. I did. It's mad when I think about it and like look at memories or the flash up, and I see myself doing some mad stuff. I'm like, wow.
So you're Leeds, and you played. I mean, that team there, like that's from my rugby knowledge, it was a superstar team. But it were like that were like at the best as well, wasn't it? You know, like they were.
There were Keith Senior still there. Lee Smith on the wing played numerous World Cup challenges. Then you name that car. Well, the Brentwood there who taught me so much when I was a young kid. Kevin Sinfield, Rob Bird, Danny McGuire. Danny Medeiros, one of the best 9s ever. Ryan Bailey, Brett Delaney, Jamie Peacock, Ryan Hall, Carl Ablett, who you forget these kind of names, but it was.
My wife delivered his baby.
Really? Mm-hmm. Well, he's absolutely top bloke. He don't like rugby league now, funny enough, but just a team that I was like round. I was like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
So I actually watched these before.
Who took you under the wing then?
Rob Burrow did actually massively, because I was I'm a Ponty lad.
And
he lived in Pontefract, so he picked me up my first training session and took me to the training facilities because I didn't know where to go, basically. And then when I got there, probably over a couple of years, Jamie Peacock did, because I got in trouble a couple of times. It was more just for having a drink when I shouldn't have had a drink, and having a fight when you can't really fight. And Jamie Peacock's did that through when he was young, up until.
I bet he could scrap though.
Yeah, he was a very hard man. He was scary.
Just a big, solid man.
And he used to take me and like, look, I've done this, I've done that, you can't do this. And, And everyone, after about 2 years, they really took a shine from me and really did try to look after me, and we were good.
I can remember seeing Rob, you know, around town, obviously, a legend, and he used to air spiked up, you know, black
like a little,
like
yellow
flash, flashlight
flash.
thing, like that. And I can remember seeing him in, there were, you know, in middle of Freeport, like bang in the middle of it, there were like a food place. I think it might be used to be Burger King or something.
Yeah,
like that.
He was next to that place that like the slide and stuff.
Yeah. And I seen him in there, and they were there last, and they were just sat there. And then it was back in the day, you know, when boot cut jeans were cool and stuff like that, and like, you know, low jumpers, you know, with chest out and that. I can remember seeing him, and I was with my wife, and just like sat on a table near, but like, no. But I kept like, because I'm too cool for that, you know what I mean? But I kept like, you know, staring over, you know, like, and like catching his eye, but just looking away, do you know what I mean? Like, because which is really weird, but it's just because he was such a superstar around this area, do you know what I mean? Obviously, it helps, like, because of his stature, he was so easily recognisable as well. Like, even if you didn't know it was Rob Burrow, you'd think, oh, that might be Rob Burrow, do you know what I mean? That kind of thing. And that's where I saw him get into Audi TT.
It was white, and it had R7 BRW, 90, it just straight that way, and then fast forward, and then come back. 3 years later, I bought a black Audi TT.
But that shape.
But he's with petrol, so I got diesel, and like, but I was probably 6'4", 6'1". He was, I don't know, 5'5", 5'4".
Yeah.
So perfect car for Rob. Not perfect for me, but because Rob Burrow had it, and he picked me up in it a few times. I was like, the first time I had a good wage where I could buy something I wanted, I got an Audi TT, so that was.
I love that, do you know what I mean? Like, and I think you should. You know, like, I bet Kevin Sinfield always had like a Fiat Punto or something like that, sensible car.
He
you know what I mean,
probably
like?
did 65 miles per gallon, 4-wheel drive.
I bet he had an electric car before there were even electric cars.
Yeah, Kev, it won't surprise me if he did.
What were you like, Kev, then? Were you like a straight down line bloke?
It was, yeah, but over the years as we got to know each other, he did come out of his shell. He's not an extravagant bloke. He don't wear expensive gear. Doesn't do anything that's like, what's Kevin doing?
Yeah.
He didn't really drink, but his parents and my parents got on really well. So when we went to Challenge Cup finals and weekends away with the team, a lot of times the club would take care of the kids and the wives and girlfriends or parents, which at the time, because that was my first proper club, and I won quite a lot in a short period of time, I just thought it was kind of normal. So now it's mad though, because now it's like, right, you've got 2 tickets. It's like, well, can I have 5 tickets? Like, no, well, it's 25 seats in the stadium. There's only 10 there. Why can't I have fucking 3 more tickets? But at the time when I was at Leeds, it was doof, doof, doof.
Yeah, you don't have anything to compare it with.
And I was like, and then later on in my career, I realised how good it was. So when we went off somewhere, the club were like, right, we'll just take care of all that, and we didn't have to say anything. So they were on WhatsApps, and messages, and emails, and that's when my parents got on with their parents, and so then they tell me little stories of what Kev was like when he was 18 and 19, and he was a different bloke to when he is now, or even when I knew him. So he had bits about him that were not pure Kev Sinfield, should we say, but he's always been pretty straight.
We'll get him on. Come on, Kev. Come on, pod him. We'll get you some of these tales, do you know what I mean?
Do you have like all-time favorite player where you like, that is who I was looking up to as a kid, and maybe got a bit starstruck if you ever met that person?
Oh, it's mad really, because I didn't really have one standout person. The person I really liked at the time, it's really weird because my dad had this thing with me where my birthday was October 17th, and grand final used to be in and around then. Now it's like October 5th, but it used to be like 16th, 14th, 15th. And he used to support Wigan, and he used to know Tony Smith, who played at Wigan. So he used to take me there, so I used to support Wigan because I went to grand finals. So Chris Odlinski is called fullback. Ginger hair, he was brilliant.
I think he's a CEO.
He signed me at Wigan. And I can just remember as a young kid, he'd just catch every ball, sprint round everyone. That was just what I did. I just catch balls and run around everyone. Obviously, he did it in a different thing to me. Obviously, playing professional, but I used to, and there were pictures, and I gave it to Chris Odlinski. I was sat in Bath because I've been to a grand final, Old Trafford. I've got red and white stripes on my face. I've got Radlinski painted on my head. And my dad must have like dropped me back off after this game, and I'm sat in Bath. And my mum was like trying to scrub it off, man. It was one of them things off Phoenix Nights where he sprays kind of spray paint.
Right on to me.
Yeah, Ray Bonds, mate. So yeah, he's my first memory, and I've got a picture of it to say like that's what I really liked. But I've never really had someone who I've really idolised, and saw our products at Leeds team. It was just, I want to be like all these.
It's just a big bunch of people.
There were Jamie Peacock, because he was tough, took no shit, robust. Rob Burrow, because he was charismatic, used to play pranks on everyone, hide people's car keys, get the cars, hide them in Morrison's car park. Then it were Kev Sinfield, because he was a pure professional, first one in, last one out, all that jazz. So there were people who had
for different reasons,
So I couldn't really like your mind, because you do something really good on pitch, but then not saying to become a team, but it's just not me off the pitch. So I just tried to get bits and bobs off people.
I said to you, Matt, didn't I? Like that's my target with this pod. I really like one of them. I really Sam Burgess and JP. I'd love to, because they were my watching rugby. They were my heroes. And yours, Paul Newloven.
Newloven too, but we're not going to get to it unless we pay for him a plane. But
that'll be all right.
Yeah,
Ryan says it's a sponsored show, so feedback. Mimi Quinn. What the fuck is that?